Last week, an old-timer at the bait shop pulled me aside. He had that look in his eyes, the kind that's seen 70-plus years of sunrises over the water. He leaned in and whispered about a secret so good, he claimed some anglers wanted it banned. It wasn't some new $20 lure. It was a simple $1 item from the hardware store that he swore could outfish everything in my tackle box. The story goes that tournament circuits had to crack down on this trick because the old-timers who knew about it were winning almost every single weekend. Today, we're putting that legend to the test. Is this the ultimate fishing hack, or just another tall tale? We're going to find out if a single dollar can really beat hundreds of dollars in gear. Let's get into it. Let's be honest. We've all been there. You walk into a tackle shop and get hit by a wall of lures, shimmering, glittering, perfectly engineered plastics that all promise the fish of a lifetime. There's the $10 crankbait, the $15 swim bait, the $25 glide bait. It feels like an arms race where your wallet is always losing. I've spent more than I'd like to admit on gear I thought was the magic bullet, only to come home empty-handed. That's the exact problem this old-timer, Dale, said he solved 50 years ago. He watched guys spend a fortune on tackle while he was quietly out fishing them with a trick he learned from his uncle. His uncle was a commercial fisherman in the 60s who noticed that after doing routine maintenance on his gear, his catch rate would just skyrocket. He figured out what was different, and the secret was born. So what is it? What's this legendary $1 hardware store item? It's pure petroleum jelly. Yeah, I know. The simple, greasy stuff in the tub. It sounds way too simple to be true, right? But the theory behind it, as Dale explained, is surprisingly smart. It's not just one thing. It's a few key triggers working together. First, and most importantly, it's a powerful scent masking agent. Think about everything you touch before you tie on a lure. The gas pump, sunscreen, the coffee you spilled on your console. Fish, especially pressured bass, have an incredible sense of smell. Any unnatural scent on your bait can be the difference between a strike and a snub. Petroleum jelly creates a neutral barrier, basically erasing your human scent and letting the lure seem natural. Second, it actually changes how your lure acts in the water. A thin coat makes a soft plastic worm slide through grass and wood without hanging up, giving it a slick, natural movement. For hard baits, it creates this subtle, oily sheen that bleeds into the water as you retrieve it. That micro-slick mimics the look of a wounded baitfish losing its slime coat. And third, it's the perfect carrier for other scents. While the jelly itself is neutral, you can mix it with things like garlic or anise oil. But because it's so thick and sticky, it doesn't wash off after a few casts like most sprays. It creates a long-lasting scent trail that just stays on your lure, calling fish in from a distance. Now, that claim about it being banned is probably a little bit of old-school folklore born from how well it worked. While major tournaments have rules against certain additives, you won't find petroleum jelly explicitly forbidden in most rulebooks. But the legend sticks around because for a while, it gave the anglers in the know a serious, almost unfair advantage. All right, talk is cheap. A legend is just a story until you prove it. So that's what we're going to do. We're out here on a local lake that gets hammered with fishing pressure. These bass have seen every lure in the book. If this trick works anywhere, it'll be here. Here's the game plan. A straight-up head-to-head comparison. In one corner, the expensive setup. I've got my top-of-the-line casting rod rigged up with a brand-new $20 hyper-realistic bluegill crankbait. 3D eyes, a flawless paint job. This is the kind of lure the industry says you need. And in the other corner, the $1 trick. I'm using a standard spinning rod with a $2 Ozark Trail spinnerbait from Walmart. Simple, no frills. But this one has been anointed with a light coat of petroleum jelly all over the blade, skirt, and head. The total cost for this setup, about $3. The rules are simple. 1 hour of fishing, switching between the two rods. I'll hit the same spots. Use similar retrieves and give both a fair shot. Let's see if the $20 marvel lives up to the hype, or if the $3 secret weapon can steal the show. The first 30 minutes are humbling. I start with a pricey crankbait, working it along a perfect-looking weed line. It looks amazing in the water, just wobbling and flashing. But nothing. Not a tap, not a follow. The fish could not care less. I switch over to the spinnerbait with the secret sauce. I cast it out, and the first thing I notice is how smoothly it glides through the weeds. No snags, no resistance. Still, the result is the same. Zilch. That familiar doubt starts creeping in. Maybe the old-timer was just spinning a good yarn. I keep casting, focusing on my retrieve, just hoping. I'm starting to think this is a bust. I'm about to call it quits on this spot. I decide to make one last cast with the jelly-coated spinnerbait, letting it helicopter down next to a sunken log. I give the handle one sharp turn to get the blades moving and bam! The rod just doubles over. This wasn't a gentle tap. This was an explosion. My drag starts screaming. This is not a small fish. My heart is pounding. The feeling of surprise and vindication is just electric. After a tense fight, I finally guided into the boat. A beautiful, healthy, largemouth bass. I can't believe it. After getting completely shut out with the premium lure, the $3 setup got absolutely hammered. The excitement is real. That wasn't just a lucky catch. That was the aggressive, committed strike you'd dream about. But hey, one fish can be a fluke. We need more proof. I let the bass go and cast right back to the same spot. I let the spinnerbait flutter down, pop the handle, and it happens again. Wham! Another fish, just as mean as the first one. It's another solid base. Okay, this is not a coincidence. This is a pattern. Now it's time to really test it. I put down the spinnerbait and grab a bag of cheap 5-inch Senko-style worms. I take a big dollop of the petroleum jelly and just work it into the whole bag, letting the bait soak in it. I rig one up wacky style and toss it towards a dock piling. As it shimmies down, the line just jumps and starts moving sideways. I reel down, lean back, fish on. The jelly doesn't just work on moving baits. It makes finesse presentations deadly by masking your scent when a fish comes to investigate. For the next hour, it's just chaos. It's a highlight reel. I catch another bass on the wacky rig. I switch to a cheap creature bait, also coated in jelly, and pull a feisty pike out from under the same dock. It seems like every species is hitting it. The whole time, I keep picking up that expensive crankbait and making a few casts to keep the test honest. The result? Not a single bite. The fish didn't want the clean, expensive lure. They wanted the greasy, cheap one. So, after all that, what's the verdict? I'm a believer. This isn't just a fishtail. It's a legitimate, game-changing hack. The old-timer wasn't kidding. A $1 tub of petroleum jelly paired with an inexpensive lure didn't just compete with a high-dollar gear, it absolutely dominated it. We saw today that it's not always about how much money you spend. It's about understanding what really makes a fish bite. The secret is masking your scent and presenting a lure that looks and feels more natural. The petroleum jelly does all of that for pennies. It helps your lure slide through cover, hides unnatural smells, and holds on to attractants better than anything I've ever used. This is the kind of secret the big-money fishing industry might not shout from the rooftops. They want you to think you need the latest and greatest lure to be successful. But the truth is, a simple trick passed down by old-timers for over half a century is still one of the most effective things you can have in your tackle box. So, here's my challenge to you. Go to the hardware store, grab a tub of petroleum jelly, and try this yourself. Coat your favorite lures, your soft plastics, and just see what happens. I think you'll be surprised. When you do, come back to this video and let me know how it went in the comments. I want to hear your stories. Did it work? What did you catch? Let's share this secret and build a community around fishing smarter, not just spending more. If you enjoyed uncovering this forgotten trick, do me a huge favor and hit that like button. And make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next time we put another fishing secret to the test. Tight lines.